this is Phil at WSM in Salt Lake City at the Nordica room, and we're going to be talking BOA, the big word that's out there in the industry. You're hearing the dials all over resorts now as far as that clicking sound. That is everywhere, and it's there for a reason. It's not hype, it works. So last year we're here with Greg. Greg, what's your title with Nordica?
I'm the North American Product Marketing Manager.
So it sounds pretty important.
A little bit.
I'm sure you've got a huge data bank of information in
Totally.
your head that you just want to share with everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay. Again, we're dealing with new technology that we're seeing,
Yep.
working with BOA over the course of the years. We know BOA, they don't just add their product BOA to a product unless they feel they can make it better, and they absolutely have done it with boots. Now, Nordica has their unique take on how you're integrating this into your line. A little bit different than some other manufacturers.
A little bit,
Let's
yeah.
talk about what you have going on.
Sure. So within the SpeedMachine line of boots, we actually have 3 unique BOA configurations. We have the cuff-only offering at the SpeedMachine 3 130S.
Which I believe is the only
It is,
cuff
to my
on the market.
knowledge,
Mine
to my
too.
knowledge, it is the only boot that is offering upper cuff and buckles on the lower. Also at the 130 flex point, we have a dual dial offering.
Yep.
Same here with the 120. And then we go to lower shell BOA in the 120, 110, and 100. And we've learned a lot since adding BOA to our line.
Right.
What we have really learned is that BOA on the lower shell, it's feeling like more of a convenience feature in a closure system. It's a novel take on a way to close a boot. When we first skied BOA on the upper cuff, we truly realized that this is a performance feature.
Yes.
The wrapping capabilities of that upper cuff system are just incredible. The way it hugs and contours your leg, it feels like your leg is a joystick that's connected to your foot and thus your skis.
Right.
So the story that we're telling with our SpeedMachine line this year is pure performance with this upper cuff system with buckles on the lower.
Yep.
We think there's a consumer out there that wants the performance of the dial on the cuff, but they want the speed of the buckles on the lower. They want to be able to set them and forget them.
Yep.
Pop them open at the bottom of the chair,
Yep.
shut them at the top.
Yep.
With dual dial, we think that this is the perfect blend of performance and convenience with BOA on the cuff and BOA on the lower shell.
Now, I want to dispel some misinformation that's out there.
Sure.
There are people that think, oh, because we have a single closure up top here, we're losing control from the top of the boot. That's not the case with
No.
this. I've got probably a half dozen days in this boot here, and I noticed immediately how progressive the flex is on that. And what's really interesting, and I'll come up close to the camera here, basically as we drive into that boot, this top stretches out. But if you notice, as I pull these cables here and that changes, it pulls the bottom cables back and pulls that heel back into the pocket. So that's where we actually get more control. I liken it to going from a static Velcro power strap to a booster elastic type strap. And the reason that we like that booster strap, it gives us that progressive and that rebound, and that's what we get out of these.
And that's actually the reason why we put the more traditional style power strap on that
Okay.
boot, is to add a little bit more of that damp feeling to a very active
Right.
upper cuff system.
And
So-
that's going to, again, the readers out and the followers out there that might want to play with some different strap options. You've got some options. I mean, your boots are great because everything is screwed on instead of just riveted on. So you
Absolutely.
can make these changes along the lines. And the other thing that impressed me with this new SpeedMachine, and again, we talked about low volume, medium volume, high volume boots. This is definitely on the lower side of medium for a fit. I normally wear a low volume boot myself. This is a medium volume. I've got tremendous foot containment in this.
That's great to hear. And yeah, we pride ourselves on being a perfect fit right out of the box.
Yep.
And This boot is no exception to that.
Yeah, I've had pretty much every generation of speed machines through its incarnation. The first one was a pretty voluminous boot, but then once we got into the 3, it really contained that in there.
Exactly.
So you did a beautiful job there. But the upper and lower design here, this is the most advanced one. But again, I really like that the cuff boa and the bottom buckles for that person that does like when it get down to lift to flip the buckles open.
And just to keep going on this cuff system a little bit, we actually have a few unique features on our cuff system that are proprietary to us.
Okay.
We have this glide plate here, which protects the BOA cable as it goes underneath and wraps around. It also just allows the cables to feed into the dial a little bit more consistently and smoothly. We also have this Kevlar retaining
I was going to
strap.
ask about that.
So one of the things our testers found when skiing this boot is when you pop open the dial to get the boot on, the cables would kind of spill down into the lower dial or even the buckles. This retaining strap bolts onto the back of the guide and just keeps all of the cable up next to the cuff of the boot. So just keeping everything nice and contained.
And the question has come up, is, oh, with this BOA system on the cuff, is the boot more difficult to get into? No, it's not.
I have not.
Apples to apples, boot to boot, I find it extremely consistent in that manner of getting in and out of the boots.
I haven't found it to be any more difficult to get on personally.
And I did a video, you can check this out on our YouTube channels. I took 3 different boots, a traditional 4-buckle overlap, a single BOA bottom and a dual BOA top, and I took my zip fit liner and to see what it was like to put in all of them. Easy peasy in any of them. BOA doesn't make a boot more or less difficult to get into if you're using a zip fit liner. But I'll be honest with you, with this shell here and this boot, I'm happy with the stock liner. I'm not running my zip fit in this.
Correct. It's got our 3D custom cork liners. They're fully heat moldable. And again, fit out of the box is one of the top priorities with all of our boots, not just SpeedMachine. So this boot is going to be great for those mid-volume feet right out of the box.
So if you're looking for BOA options out there, whether it be lower, upper, or even dual BOA, Nordica has a full collection of a multitude of options for you to take a look at different fits on there. You definitely need to, if you're looking for a new boots, these need to be on your short list of boots. And don't dismiss that cuff BOA because it really is a performance difference. It's not marketing, it's all about performance. And thanks for watching, and remember, we'll see you out there on the snow.
Hi everybody, Deb Armstrong here, and remember, skiing is fun!
If you enjoyed this informative video, hit that bell, subscribe so that you'll stay up to date on the new videos, and check out SkiTalk.com for more ski-related content.
Also, please follow SkiTalk.com on all of your social media. No scenes from Hot Tub Time Machine were reenacted during the production of this video.